Welcome back to the channel. Last week I set off on a lovely drive from Lancashire over Yorkshire way, stopping off at the Kilburn White Horse and then driving over the beautiful heather covered North Yorkshire moors. I stopped again at Rosedale Chimney Bank. It's an old limestone mining area and there are ruins of the old kilns there. It was a gorgeous day for a drive, but finally I reached the campsite, which was Bayness Farm at Robin Hood's Bay on the coast. An absolute gem of a campsite. After managing to capture a pretty decent sunrise, it was a leisurely and quiet start to the day. I was preparing to move pitches, although to be fair, most pitches have great views. I had to hang about on site till 11 o'clock, but I'm sure you'll agree it was worth the wait. An epic little sea view outlook. Just get that tailgate up and soak it up. But first it was time to get out and explore a bit. This is a track from the campsite down to the Cinder path. So it rained a lot last night, so it's going to be a bit muddy. But the campsite guy told me, don't ride this bit, push your bike till you get to the path. Which I think was good advice. Wow, look at that for a view. Quite steep in places. I think I'll come back the other way. I don't fancy pushing my bike back up here. And as you'll see later, that would prove my biggest mistake of the day. A big one. That's what she said. Thank you. Okay. Hiya. Thanks. Thank you. Hiya. It's a bumpy one. Oh, God, it's like off-roading. It's not your typical cycle path. Blood pumping. That's with the battery on as well. Onward! It was turning out to be much rougher and rockier terrain than I'd expected. But the weather and the views made up for that. The Cinder track, it's very bumpy, lots of potholes all over the place. It's not the best cycle path I've been on. I actually got talking to a local lady who was cycling the path that day, and she was saying how awful it was in places. But she did also say that they're looking at improving the track, but I think that's starting from the Scarborough end, so it'll be a good few years before they get, obviously, the whole track done. But if you've got the right type of bike and the right tyres, which sadly I haven't, this is a fantastic trail. But when you get views like this, you can't really complain. But I don't think I'm going to go too much further down because, like I say, it's not the nicest ride. I've probably got the wrong wheels, wrong tyres. So yeah, I might just go a bit further along and see where it takes me, next village or town, and then probably head back towards Robin Hood's Bay. Gorgeous day though. Did I mention I'm not enjoying this path? I suppose they haven't come off yet. There's still time.
I've been in your waters, been knocking at your door. I know one thing for sure, I've never been so close before.
Perfect little pit stop. After this point, the next place I came to was a little village called Ravenscar. I didn't video any of that because I literally just rode into it, stopped at a cafe for a coffee, and then turned around and rode back. I read up on the village when I got back home, and it turns out that it's got the tag, "The Town That Never Was." This is because Victorian developers had originally planned to build a seaside resort here, but other than a few buildings and streets, the plan was never finished. Anyway, after my coffee I turned around and cycled back, and it turned out that it was all downhill all the way. I hadn't realised what an incline I'd come up. Oh, it's all downhill coming back, a lot better. Even the stones and the dips aren't a big deal when you're coming back downhill. No battery power needed here. I hope you're not feeling seasick watching this. I'm glad I put my padded cycling pants on. I'd built up quite an appetite on that bike ride and was now after some fish and chips. I realised on this trip how much better I'm getting at being on my own in places. Then with a very full belly, it was time for the big push back up to the campsite. This is a lane called Smay Lane, and the camera really doesn't show just how steep it was. It felt almost vertical in places, and it was all pushing. There was no riding the bike. I've just fallen. Not off my bike, but pushing up a practically vertical lane back to the campsite. And I've only got trainers on and they slipped on a load of gravel. So my legs went from under me, my bike went flying in front of me, and I landed on my hands and knees. But then I did a stunt roll to make it look, a little bit more professional and almost like it was on purpose. Got back up quicker than I went down. 2 bleeding knees. It smarts a bit, but no real harm done and nobody around to see it. So I'm going to push on back to the campsite up this hill, and I won't be riding. It's a steep one. Whenever me and Bri went out on bikes, it would always be Bri that came off. It's good to see Vanya again. I think I'm going to ache tomorrow. I landed on my shoulder. That's really sore, but like achy. So I'm going to have a lager and 2 paracetamol to ward off as much evil tomorrow as I can, because I think I'm going to ache tomorrow. Repeating myself, it must have been the shock. As it was, I didn't ache, I just couldn't kneel down. For the rest of the day, I just enjoyed the last of the sunshine, did a bit of reading, listening to music. Didn't need to eat again, not after those fish and chips.
I try to figure out who I am. Not sure what I'm doing here, and the days don't work out the way I thought they would. Until I met you, I was feeling lost, but you're the one who can make it go away. All you have to do is look at me.
Next week, I get out in the van to stock up at the local supermarket before visiting the charming little Robin Hood's Bay.